If you're going to attend a state college, it can make sense for your family to consider moving well before you start college. It's not always an option, but when it is, it can save you a lot of money. In the late 1990s, I taught at Quincy University in Quincy, Illinois. My daughter lived with us and attended Quincy University for free since I worked there. But what if she'd wanted to attend the University of Missouri? Quincy, Illinois is located on a bluff beside the Mississippi River. Where I lived in Quincy was less than 5 miles from the Missouri state line. In fact, I frequently drove over the state line because gasoline was significantly cheaper in Missouri at the time. In fact, many of the employees at Quincy University lived in Missouri and commuted across the state line to work. That is not at all uncommon for jobs near a state line. So, why does that matter? Directly from the University of Missouri website, we can see that the cost to attend in 2018 to 2019 for an undergraduate Missouri resident is a total of $28,046. This is what is called in-state tuition. This is what it would have cost me for my daughter to attend the University of Missouri with me moving across the state line into Missouri. With me living in Quincy, Illinois, the cost would have been $43,884. So, just moving my family 5 to 10 miles would have saved over $15,000 per year on her tuition. That is over $60,000 on the cost of a 4-year education. $60,000 for a short move. The decision to move to a new state to save on tuition involves a good bit more than just how much you would save on tuition. First, the student must be sure. It is expensive and time-consuming to move a family. I would not have wanted to move to Missouri only to have my daughter decide she wanted to attend the University of Mississippi, for example. Different states have different rules on how long you must live in the state before you're eligible for in-state tuition. No state is going to allow you to move into the state and immediately start paying in-state tuition. Missouri, for example, requires that you live in the state for 1 full year before receiving in-state tuition. Some states also require that you work in the state for a period of time before being eligible for in-state tuition. Missouri, for example, requires 1 year. Thus, my example of moving to Missouri for in-state tuition while continuing to work in Illinois might not have worked. But more on that in a moment. Georgia, on the other hand, simply requires a 1-year residency and having paid Georgia state income taxes. If I lived in Georgia and worked in Tennessee, for example, I would be paying Georgia income tax and my daughter would be eligible for in-state tuition in Georgia. When I checked with the University of Missouri, they said that working in Illinois but paying income taxes in Missouri would qualify for in-state tuition after all. As you can see, this topic is complex. You should check with the college you are planning on attending prior to making any plans to move to save on tuition. As I just mentioned, moving changes your state income tax rate. It also changes your property taxes if you buy a home. Thus, you would need to consider the tax implications carefully before making any decision. Moving costs a lot of money. If you move across state lines, the cost of your car insurance might change dramatically. Housing costs and utilities will change. Likewise, if you're still in high school, you'll have to change schools. Moving impacts a lot of things and needs to be studied carefully. This entire course is directed towards high school students getting ready to attend college and, to a lesser degree, students early in their college career. However, how where you live impacts your college costs is something for adults planning on going back to college to consider. This is especially the case if you're just leaving the military or you are looking for a new job anyway. So, in conclusion, it can sometimes be very economical to relocate a year more before starting college. However, there are a lot of considerations, so you will need to approach the situation very carefully.